What is up, Finn fans? Already got a bunch of you in the stream. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Let me make sure I say what is up to all the people that were here first. Gridiron Reports, first one here. Warrior Joe, Larry L, Vic, what is up? TD Finn fan, Daryl, and Isaiah. What is up, everyone? Let's make sure you could hear me and all that jazz. And we're going to jump right into this thing. Notification Squad. What's up, Ron? How you doing, bud? What's up, latest? Clement. Is this new practice facility ready next to the stadium yet? I think next year it is it's going to be ready. What's up, Justin? How's it going, Doug? It's going good, Enzo. It's going good. Just getting ready to have some of you guys on. I'm actually looking forward to that. I want to have some of you guys on to chat. No notification today. Yeah, YouTube sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't work. But yeah, Shane says hit that like button. Yes, be sure to hit the like button. Gets more people in here. Get to hang out more. So, how do I possibly join the stream? I will let you know in a brief second. What's up, brother? Doug, how you doing today? How you feeling today? I'm blessed. Shout out from 305 Miami-Dade County in the building. Much love and respect. What's up, Mr. Miami 305? I'm doing good today. It's actually a nice day in New Jersey. I think it's like in the 70s, which if you guys know, that is my temperature. So yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good today. Got some things in the works. Got some big things in the works. If you guys haven't seen my last video, I'm going to address a few things in my last video. So in my last video, I talked about Fan-to-Fan Network. Essentially, it's this website that me and a ton of different NFL YouTubers are going to be a part of. And it's essentially what we do is we create content on YouTube, and then it is a part of this huge website where you can go, and if the Dolphins are playing the 49ers, there's a 49ers YouTube. He's also part of the website. You could click and check it out. It's called Fan-to-Fan Network. You could check him out on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. So be sure to go over check Fan-to-Fan Network out. Also, just to address something real quick. Yesterday I was talking about Tua and how people were saying that Tua, no one from Alabama, the Alabama hasn't produced a starting caliber or a good quarterback. And people are taking it as I'm saying that. And people are also taking that I'm saying that Purdue hasn't. No, the whole point of me saying that was that is a false narrative that people are pushing out. So I started naming teams, college teams that produced good quarterbacks, but also had good quarterbacks before them, like Purdue. So it was a huge misconception, I guess you could say. A lot of people thought that I was saying that Alabama didn't produce good quarterbacks before Tua. I'm not saying that. That's what is out there. What's up, Ink Raven? How you doing, brother? All righty. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to get in the building. So if you guys don't know, Dolphins made a move today, and they hired 2 more coaches today. I will tell you who those 2 coaches are right now. They added Steve Ferentz. Why am I the way I am? I don't know. They hired Steve Ferentz as a coaching assistant, and former Chiefs running back Colby Smith as their offensive QC coach. And what that is just the offensive quality control coach. These are lower level coaches. These are guys that, are trying to build their way up in the coaching world. So I added 2 lower level coaches, kind of like quality control coaches, kind of helping out, trying to learn their ways up the ranks. And yeah, so that's about it. So without further ado, let's get some of you guys in here. Now, the way this is going to work, fellas, is I'm going to put the stream, the able to join in the stream, and then, come in, we'll chat. I'll see if I can get a few of you guys in here. We'll have a chat, but I want to get as many people in as possible. I'm only going to be live for an hour, and I want to talk everything you guys want to talk about. I want to see where you guys are at with the team. I want to answer your questions. I want to do, it's just a Saturday hangout Q&A. I want to answer your questions. I want to have a discussion. So I'm going to have you guys come in and hang out, but I'm going to try to get as many of you guys in as possible. So here we go. Let's start this Mama Jamma out. But yeah, so yeah. I was going to say something, and then my brain just didn't want to work. Do you think Isaiah Ford will have a bigger role or possible breakout this season? He had some nice catches in the later half of the season. I hope so. Like I said in my Changali breakdown of their of his offense, I honestly think that the fact that he likes to use a lot of wide receivers is the reason why we have so many wide receivers. We have a lot. We have Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson, Allen Hurns, Preston Williams, Jakeem Grant, Isaiah Ford, and then we drafted Cole Kmet. We drafted a lot, undrafted guys. We have a lot of wide receivers. Are they all going to make the team? Probably not. They might just be practice squad eligible or camp bodies. But the fact that the Changali's base offense is kind of a 3 wide receiver set, I think that's the reason why we have so many. Do you see the Dolphins going for Jamal Adams? I don't necessarily see that happening. Not Cole Kmet. Sorry, Justin. that's the tight end. I don't know why. Merritt is what I meant to say. Merritt, not Kmet. What was the question? With Jamal Adams, I don't see that happening. Just because I don't see them, trading within the division. And Jamal Adams is going to want a big contract, and I know the Jets are probably going to want a first-round pick. So we already got one person in here. What is up, Simon? What's up, brother?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's 83 here in Alabama. It's hot.
Oh, jeez. I can't deal with the heat, so no, I can't deal with that.
So what you been up to lately?
Not much, man. Just doing this thing, trying to spread the word of the Miami Dolphins, trying to keep you guys entertained during this very, very dead time in the NFL.
Tell me about it. It's been very boring. Nothing to watch.
How do you feel about the Dolphins? How are you feeling? Being that you're a part of the younger generation, you haven't really seen the Dolphins do much in your time as a Dolphin fan. How are you feeling about the Dolphins?
Well, I like to talk about the Dolphins, but when I have a friend that's a Patriot fan, it's kind of hard to express how I really feel.
I can imagine. Is there a lot of Dolphin fans down there?
Not really. But Noah Igbenogany, he was in Trustville. Mm-hmm. I'm in Trustville.
Oh, nice. Let me get some more people up in here. We got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Ron in the house. What's up, Ron? How you doing, brother?
What's up, dude? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. And we'll get Larry in here and Shake Money. Oh man.
Oh no.
we got the whole crew here, man.
Hey, Shake Money, man. You got a mask on?
Yeah, what's up, Larry? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I gotta wear this at work, so I figured I'd wear it real quick.
Yeah.
Nice. So how you guys feeling? How's everyone doing today?
Hot here in Tampa. It's almost 90 with rain.
Oh.
So the worst combination. It's not the heat that'll kill you, Dougie. Trust me, as an ex-New Yorker, it's the humidity. After it rains, it's gonna be like 90 and 90.
Today and yesterday is the coolest it's been here for about 2.5.
Oh, geez. So yeah, what is it like over there in Cali, Ron?
It's been a heat wave here, but just yesterday and today has been nice. It's around 75.
True. So how are you guys feeling about this team? How are you guys feeling? I want to hear from you guys.
Well, in PFF, there was a little short article about the teams with odds of going from last to first, and they had us even with the Cardinals at 36% of the voters each going from first to worst. I'm not saying that's going to happen, obviously, but what an improvement, huh? That even being considered at a possibility of going to their first to worst.
I don't see it as the realm of possibility.
No, nor do I. But the fact that you could even actually have a discussion about it.
I honestly think that it's Brian Flores. Brian Flores definitely does help that talk because of what people saw him do. His last 9 games, he went 5 for 4. He did really well. So,
guys, my second team. I live in Tampa, so I get a lot of Tampa games.
So
yeah,
Ron,
I live in Port Charlotte, so I do too.
Yeah.
It sucks, and I think I have it bad, but I think you guys have it worse, being that you live in the state and still can't watch your team play. Like, at least I'm in Jersey. I have an excuse for not watching the Dolphins. You guys are in Florida and you can't watch the Dolphins. It's ridiculous.
Fortunately, I know my way around a little bit around the computer, so I do get to watch. Plus, by the way, about a third of the games, right, Check Money, usually they have the Dolphins because they're in this different conference. So about at least a third of the games, we do get it on air here.
Yeah.
But the other, I don't know my way. Well, I know my way around a computer. Let's say so I get it to watch the games. And every once in a while, I get the urge to go to the bar and hang out with some friends.
Yeah, it's a different atmosphere. Like last year, I was doing a lot of live streams during the games and stuff. But going to the bar, it's a different atmosphere, especially when you have other Dolphin fans and you just start celebrating and stuff.
Douglie. That I'm tortured because I can find a bar with Pittsburgh fans. There's no problem finding a bar with Patriots fans, but I have yet to find a bar here in the Tampa area that is focused more on the Dolphin fans. So I'm stuck on the little corner, maybe with a guy or two watching the Dolphin games while everybody's enjoying Tampa or their Patriots or their Steelers.
Are you kidding me?
There's even Giants. There's even 2 bars with Giants. With the New York Giants.
That's
I don't know
great.
about Port Charlotte area, but definitely here in the Tampa area.
Literally in New Jersey, in my town, if I go about 5 or 6 blocks, there's this bar called the Starting Point, and literally there's about 6 or 7 of us Dolphin fans that they designated a whole corner of the bar to. That's crazy.
That's how it works usually. Yeah, so I can find you a bar where it's dedicated. They have a big, especially a big Pittsburgh Steeler presence. A couple of bars that have huge Pittsburgh Steelers fans, which I can understand. A lot of them are about my age and they grew up watching the Steelers dominate.
Yeah,
so I can understand that.
So Ron, you are the offensive line expert in my mind. You're my go-to for the offensive line. How are you feeling about this Miami Dolphins offensive line? I want to hear your input on it.
I'm excited. I know a lot of unprovens, but the upgrade in just the athleticism and the talent, and the way we drafted, just drafting self-starters like Austin Jackson, high character guy, had that bone marrow transplant for his sister. So last year, he didn't really get to show how much he improved from the previous year. Is that surgery cost him all of his spring training and part of the season. And instead of fully recovering, he just went straight back to the practice field and admitted that he was still in pain.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How they do that bone marrow is they drill 5 holes corkscrew style in your hip bone.
Yep.
And they extract it over a few hours. And that just. But Robert Hunt is a mauler. I really like him. He reminds me kind of the attitude that Richie Incognito had when he was here with us.
Okay.
He's just smashing your face. And if you want to see, because a lot of people, like during the pre-draft, they were saying he'd be the number 1 guard, but they're not sure how far or good he would be on the tackle spot, which is why he's available in the 2nd round. But if you turn that Alabama game on, and then you interview, I watch a lot of college football, and I also do a lot of the those press conferences that the head coaches do. I watch all the SEC, the ACC, and all that good stuff. I just fiend football.
Yeah, by the way, Ron, I want to make a point about we got to keep in mind now. Chan Gailey used to run a lot of zone blocking schemes, but apparently the Dolphins are going to run a power scheme. So in a power scheme, you don't have to be the most mobile right tackle, what you need is power. And so I think it'll be a much easier transition, or well, he's not already a right tackle, to play right tackle for Hunt under Chad Gailey's scheme of power blocking than it would be in zone scheme where mobility is a higher trait, a higher desired trait.
Well, if you watch him move, he played left guard and right guard at Louisiana Raging Cajuns. He can move. He can. I believe he's going to stay at the right tackle. And the Alabama game showed that the level of competition is not going to be a big issue for him.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. You're right about that. He could move. Really, when we're thinking of moving, we're thinking of agility, and that's what we're talking about there. Yeah, if you're agile enough, you have to be agile in the tackles because you have to move quick feet and everything to to cover up the ends that are trying to take a long route around you. Where the guard, you don't have to worry about that. There's confined space that you're working on. So yes, as a guard, his agility is way up there for a guard. But we're talking about tackle play, which is different.
Well, there was one play about him that stood out to me when I was watching some of his games and stuff, instead of just watching the highlight reels. There was one play where they did a bootleg that Chan likes to use a lot too. Move the launching point for the quarterbacks, try and keep pass protection, help the guys out. He was running, was it 25 yards downfield, and just devastated flat dude, a safety and a linebacker on his way. Just let the wide receiver on a tunnel screen get 50-something yards down.
This way? No, that way.
Literally 20, 30 yards.
Now that's a legend, Doug. That's a legend.
Yeah, I had to get Vic in here. I'm gonna try to get some more people in here. So I'm just gonna Simon, I'm gonna have to say later, bud. I'm gonna try to get more people in here. I appreciate you stopping by, my dude. I'm gonna try to I want to get as many of you guys in here. I'm seeing you guys talking in the chat. Tina, what's up? What's up, Havoc? What's up, David? What's up, George? Want to be able to talk to you guys as well as talk to the people on the stream. Get some more people in here. So we got Vic in here. We got Big Boy Fins News. What is
Larry.
up, my guys?
What's up, guys?
So if you guys don't know, Vic is one of my biggest supporters. So this stream is me and Vic's stream. He's going to also be in charge of this stream with me. He's one of my MVP Patreons.
Thank you.
As being an MVP Patreon, you get to be a part of the stream with me. So he is also in charge. So you don't
let me say this. Let me say this about Patreon. It's basically, I Patreon TD and DDW. Doug has been a great source of news and commentary about the Dolphins and all the channels, and TD too. So when you really want that content, you want to make sure that you get that content. A little extra, whether it's $5 a month, makes these guys a little bit more. They can buy the right equipment. They can get the right sources. I mean, these guys, I can see this eventually where these guys get press passes because, the internet is the thing. That's where we're getting our news nowadays. This is the stuff that we're really working on. Nobody looks at the newspaper. Why are you giving press passes to the newspaper nobody reads? It's all about the internet. It's all about Twitter. It's all about YouTube. So, being a Patreon just shows that I'm really committed to these guys. I want to make sure they succeed. And the guys need to raise your Patreon rate. Sometimes I want to do a little bit more. So,
I feel bad.
If I had to pay a subscription for a newspaper, how much would it cost me a month?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So that's what I'm talking about. So, I appreciate you, Doug, and TD, and all the other guys that are out there giving us news. So that's what I'm here for.
Definitely.
By the way,
appreciate that.
DDW, I don't know if you want to take credit for this, but every time I Google Miami Dolphins, the video sections pop up DDW.
Yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment, dude.
I'm very happy about that.
It's
a long fight.
To know that I'm the one that really pushed it because once I started joining you, your subscriptions went straight up.
Nice.
That's all Larry. You go, Larry.
Follow me, buddy. That's Larry Legend in action.
There you go.
So, Big Boys, Fins News. How you feeling today? How you feeling about this team?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
There you go.
No, it's all right. How you feeling today? How you feeling about the team? What they've done? All that stuff. Do you hear me?
Pretty good. Obviously.
Okay.
I'm repping my Tua jersey.
Nice.
Just came in last week, so feels really good to have. I'm feeling really good about the team and what we've done so far. I'm kind of scared about training camp now with all this, with the pandemic now going up, like the boosting, skyrocketing, the numbers for it. There's more cases in Florida, like overnight. Like it was absolutely crazy. So there's a big scare right now that we could be going into lockdown again, which could really screw up everything for the teams in Florida. With the Dolphins. So
let me say this about Florida. Florida's got
that could happen.
I'm in Florida. I'm in Ocala, and I'm going to tell you what, our governor in Florida, whether or not this pandemic or accelerated flu, whatever we want to call it, we are really about opening up the stadiums and really about opening up sports. So Florida's going to open up no matter what. We're going to make sure that the games are played. We may not have any fans in the stands, but I think there's definitely going to be football in Florida. So they're actually inviting other teams outside in the nation to come to Florida and play.
Definitely. So I just want to make sure, Ron, Larry, and Shake Money get some more in before I let other people in. So Ron, what do you got to say? What's your last thing you got to say about this team? Last thing you want to talk about, bud?
I'm just excited to see the defense. I want to see the front seven. And I'm high on the offensive line guys we brought in. I'm high on Donnell Stanley, Robert Hunt, and I want to see the development of Calhoun in this new offensive style of Chan Gailey's, where it's run, and his biggest thing that he was in Mississippi State is his run blocking. He's not so much where he can hold up for a long time on the passing, but he has been working on all that. So just all the guys we brought in, I'm just really excited to see what the last year's rookies guys do with the free agents mixed with our draft that we got this year.
Definitely.
I can really, really see a big improvement, especially on the D.
And Ron, where can they find you? I see you put your Twitter handle, but don't you also write for DolphinsTalk.com?
Yeah, I write on DolphinsTalk.com, and I'm on Twitter. I'm on Pacific FinFan1.
Awesome. Yeah, so everyone be sure to go check out Ron's stuff. He does write some really good stuff, and like I said, he's a trenches guy, and we all know how important those trenches are. So Larry, how are you feeling? What do you want to say before you get out of here, bud?
Well, one of the things I changed my mind about is the free safety battle. Insanity 5 brought it to my attention, and I read an obscure article somewhere that the coaching staff really loves Bobby McCain, because not necessarily just because of his play, but because he's a leader back there, he's a communicator. So that got me to thinking, you're going to need somebody like that to just, at least initially, so they could gel. Okay, once the secretary starts gelling, maybe we could see a real competition in the free safety spot. But until then, I don't. Now that I'm changing my mind, I don't think there's going to be much of a battle. It's going to be competition for free safety spot. But maybe Noah, maybe Corday. Don't leave out Corday Tankersley. Everybody's forgetting him.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe come back and they show they can really blossom in free safety. But initially, I think we got. I would think that'd be the smart move. Keep with Bobby McCain until the secondary gels, because everything's new. This whole season's shortened up and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, Corday Tankersley, if it was between him and Ginkle coming back, that last, reserve from injury reserve coming back, and they went with Ginkle because they probably wanted to see what they could do with him at linebacker. That doesn't mean that Tankersley could not have came back last season. So yeah, definitely don't sleep on Tankersley.
Before I go, Doug, you hit one thing at one of my favorite spots. The other day, TV was talking about who's your favorite players, and I don't have a favorite player. My favorite player is the one that helps me win. But if you reword it, say who's the most excited that I want to see about, is Andre Van Ginkel. From what I saw last year, he's got me really excited. And Baker's got to be looking over his back. Really, got me really excited from that short stint we saw last year. So
definitely, man.
Okay, so I'm ready to go out and let some other people in here. Because if you don't get me out now,
all right, Shake Bunny, I want to let you get your words in before I let the three of you guys go.
I just wanted to. One of the reasons I became a Dolphin fan, I just want to cry a little bit. All right. One of the reasons, I'll make it short. One of the reasons I became a Dolphin fan was because of Ryan Cox. I got it. This is his rookie card.
Oh yeah.
And I was excited when his son became a Gator because I'm a diehard Gator fan. But one thing that Brian Cox made me hate the Bills more than any team in the whole wide world. And it just hurts me that they signed Brian Cox Jr.
Yeah.
He played for
Definitely.
every team in the AFC East except for the Buffalo Bills. Now his son playing for him, and that just hurts me.
Well, I remember
all I
when
have to
he.
say, man.
I remember when he used to come out of the tunnel, and him in Buffalo, and they would come on the field in Buffalo. Oh my God, that was a battle in itself. Just Brian Cox in Buffalo.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, on the podcast, what's that, Fish Tank?
Mhm.
One
Love
of the players said he threw a cup of pee on one of the Buffalo Bill fans.
He did.
It was bad.
He was awesome.
bad.
Dude. That was savage.
Yeah, so that's all I have to say. It just broke my heart when Brian Cox Jr. went to Buffalo Bills. I just hope he doesn't make the team.
All right, and Big Boy, what do you
All right, man,
got
thanks,
to say?
Scott.
Big Boy, what do you got to say before you get out
I
of
was
here?
gonna come here and come say hi to y'all because I'm about to leave, go to a graduation party. Just want to come in here, just say, Doug, like I literally been watching you for like the past year, probably the start of the 2018 season, and you know you've done such a great job. Last night I literally went back and watched like your starting videos on the Dolphins, like went through like the past year and a half, 2 years of your videos, and just seeing where you came from, where you started is like such an inspiration. Especially I was like watching your mock draft for, I think it was like the 2017 draft or 2018, and you were talking about how like you laughed about how like the mock picked Baker Mayfield, and it's just so first overall. So it's just so funny to go back and
so
see
wrong.
how things play out.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you going back and watching that stuff. I go back and watch it. It's super cringy to me. I can't watch it, but I appreciate you.
Went back and I would just go through your videos during the season and see all like the funny intros you do after the games, and just I don't know. I guess when I'm up late at night on YouTube, like you just go through a cycle of videos. So that's you're just really inspiring. So I just wanted to thank you. You're one of the main reasons why I started my own Dolphins channel.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you.
No problem,
Big
man.
Boy, put in the link. I mean, I don't think I followed you yet, but put in the link, and definitely I want to go ahead and put myself on your.
Everyone, be sure to go check out Big Boy Finn's news. You know, a lot of people reach out to me and they say that, you know, that I inspired them, and I'm always down to help. If you guys ever have any questions when it comes to technical acts, you know, like I have a degree in media. So if you guys ever have any questions in that aspect, don't ever feel like you can't reach out to me. I'm totally down to help everyone. It's a grind. It's hard. It's a hard grind, and you have to be dedicated, but you know, I could see you definitely growing, bud.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Thank you so much. I got to go, guys, but thank you for having me on the show.
All right, bud.
Good luck, man.
All righty, let's get some more people in here. We got some more great Dolphin fans.
What's up, Doug?
How's it going?
How's it going?
What's up, guys?
We got
What's
Jeff,
up,
we got
guys?
Havoc, we got Chris, we got John. What is up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Good.
Man, doing great.
Good.
Doing great, man. How you
I
doing?
got some good fans here. I got some trivia real quick. I'm wearing a shirt today. See if you guys can read this. So it says AFC battle. I'm going to stand on my bar stool here, way up. So we got the Dolphins and Jets, 2002. Okay. Now, from 2002, who are the quarterbacks from those two games? You got the Jets and Miami from 2002. Okay. I don't expect to see what the score was, but who won that game? Okay. And I'll give you a hint. One of the previous players for Miami also played on the Jets before they came to Miami. So that's going to be a clue.
Ray Lucas.
Nope.
Jay Fiedler was the quarterback for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Fiedler was the quarterback for Miami.
Testaverde?
Yeah,
Testaverde, very good, number one. But who was their second string?
Pennington? No.
Pennington.
Yep.
No.
No,
Chad, Pennington. Chad Pennington was their second string quarterback.
He was?
Yeah, because he got drafted in 2002, right?
Chad Pennington.
Right.
Wow.
I was solid. I saw my shirt in the closet. I'm like, that was a great game. I remember that game, and they won 30-3 against the Jets.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I don't remember that.
I missed those
I know
days.
That was 19, almost 19 years ago.
I missed those days.
Yeah.
I think the last time we really beat the crap out of the Jets was what, 2016, 2018? It was
Yeah,
that
that
Monday
Monday-
night game, right? Or the
Well,
Saturday night
yeah.
game.
It's been too long. It's been way too long. Way too long. Because I know a lot of Dolphins fans. It's like a choose it. Who don't you like the least? Is the Bills, is the Patriots. I don't like the Jets at all. That's my team. I don't like
I
the
think
Jets.
most fans, yeah.
We were rivals with the
Yeah.
Jets way before anybody else.
Way before all
Yeah.
of them, yep.
Even the
And I live in
Patriots in the
Queens. I live in
90s.
Queens, New York City, which is like Jet Central.
Yeah.
And I walk around with my Dolphin. I walk around with this hat all the time. And I get looks from people across the street, and they're like, "Yeah, I've been in this for a while."
I got a story later on in this video, Doug. Just a quick video. I actually drove a van with a Miami Dolphins license plate down the streets in New York City, and this was back in probably 2006. But I drove that van through traffic in New York City with a Miami Dolphin license plate with 8 kids in the back of it, a wife, and that was crazy as crap. I'm telling you.
I have a big one of those big window decals on the back of my car, and I have a bumper sticker also that's Dolphins. And I live literally right across the water from New York, and I hear it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
We're out here though. We're out here in the tri-state area.
Oh yeah, and you'll be surprised. Like
hear a
Havoc
lot of crap,
can
too.
attest. You'll be surprised. There's a lot of Dolphin fans in this area.
True. We're not as organized as we should be. There's a lot of us up here, but we're not as organized as we should be.
Yeah, definitely.
I
So
hear a lot of crap, too.
let's get you guys in here. So we'll start from next to Vic around. So Zeph, how you feeling, bud? What's on your mind?
I'm
bud?
good, Doug. It's a pleasure to be on, man. Big fan of the show. Big fan of you, TD. I've seen all you guys. You probably seen me in the past on TD. A couple Sunday games. We had a few live streams, but man, just wanted to get on and commend you. I enjoyed, man, ever since I found out about TD, he was talking about Tannehill, and then I found out about you, Doug, and you guys were talking about K Flexing. So it's been nice, man. As you can see, I'm a big fan. Look,
Yeah, you got it. Just
everywhere.
as much as me.
Yeah, it's right there. I got a special piece up there. Oh, and I got to show all the fans, our fans out there.
Nice.
Yeah, I got it. I just got it this week. I wore it for the first time. Just a big fan, man, and just excited about the season. I'm so excited, man. You know how it's us Dolphin fans through the years, we get excited every year. We got Gaze come in, this offensive innovator, and just we try to see all the positives. But man, I have to say, I'm not gonna take long because I know we want to get a lot more in. But I'm extremely excited. For the first time, genuinely, I feel great about. I did my research, like a lot of us have, on Flores and the direction that. His leadership, first of all, and I just like the direction that he's taking his team. I could see some of the schemes that he's implementing that he brought from New England, which of course we all hate freaking New England, but you got to give them their credit. You got to give them, they've been successful, man, for years. And so you look at the pedigree and what they built as a team from the foundation up. And I'm excited. I know Brian Flores is not following the Belichick model like we would see in like some of the other coaches that left the Patriots. But with Flores, you can see he's his own man. And I'm like I say, I just can't begin. You know what else? I think we talked about this some time ago on TD station a while back, but he was compared to, how when Don Shula took over. And I promise you, I think about this sometimes. I say, man, I really believe this might be the turn. Finally, the tide is going to turn. And I think, man, our team is heading in the right direction. That guy Tua, I got to tell you a quick story because for Havoc and everybody, everybody that follow Vic, you guys be on TD, and TD just went in about the whole Tua thing because he pretty. But
I'm just gonna do this when it comes to that.
So he went in hard, but a lot of the things he was saying, and that's why I love the show, man. That's why I like listening to you, Doug, because you're so insightful, man. You do your research, and that's why I commend you, man, for real. And TD, you guys bring a lot of knowledge and insight. Like, but mine, I'm a big fan, man. I love the game, and I know the game. But you guys help elaborate in areas and show us things. I didn't see that, but you know what? I'm gonna take a look at that. So when TD talked about Tua, I began to look at that. I was like, wow, as big a fan as I am, he won me over. I'm a Miami guy, like all the way. Hurricanes, Heat, Dolphins. I love it. I grew up in Birmingham, so I kind of rooted for Bama. But when Saban did us how he did, you know how that goes. So I didn't root for Saban as much. But I gotta give Tua, man. When I saw Tua come in and win that game, he won my heart. I'm a lefty, and him being a lefty. Okay. I'll always root for the lefties, basketball, football. But the kid, man, is special. And I really believe, man, we got blessed, man. I think it's our new Marino, but the new age version. You know what I mean? I know.
So, man.
Me too. Me too. Only jersey I bought as a quarterback was Marino. I haven't even bought a Tannehill, nobody. And I like Tannehill. I'm kind of like TD. I ain't gonna go there, but I defended Tannehill so many times. So I felt vindicated when he won the playoffs. But man, listen, this guy right there, Tua, I think him with the head coach and staff, I think, man, I'm gonna give y'all my prediction. I say 11-5 right now. Nice. I'm one of them. I'm kind of like TD. I'm serious. I see the defense. You're a
little, like, you didn't say like 12-4 Super Bowl.
No. Like, I see 10-6, 11-5 because I do believe, based on the quarterback, like our defense, like I say, TD touch on it sometimes too. You guys touch on it. When you see what Brian Flores is doing, and you could just kind of envision the pieces that he got, Shaq Lawson, Agba, all these different guys. And I see it, Van Noy, with Brian, our cornerback we got. I see it. And again, like Jamal Adams would be phenomenal. It's not happening. That would be phenomenal. That'd be easily, we'll compete possibly for a Super Bowl. With that type of deal, I think we could. But I see great things from my defense. I think the offense will come along with Tannehill and them. And I'm going to just say a rough 10-6, 11-5. I think we will likely win the division, edge it out over Buffalo. Buffalo has a defense that you have to respect, but Allen, I don't fear. I do not fear. I don't fear none of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, he was the most inaccurate quarterback.
Stidham is a sleeper with the Patriots.
So now I got a question for you, Zeph, before you get out of here. Now, my motto, rather be surprised than let down. So you saying 11-5, I'm not knocking you for it. I think every Dolphin fan in the chat, in this video, every Dolphin fan hopes for 11-5, 12-4, 13-3, division winners, first round. We all hope for it. But I want to get your aspect of this. What happens if they go 7-9? Where are you mentally? Like, how do you feel mentally if they 7-9, 8-8? You're expecting 11-5, and they give you 7-9.
I'm expecting anywhere from what I'm gonna look at is progress. Anywhere from at least like 9. At least we get 9. Okay. 7 would be a little bit. I promise you, 7 would be disappointing for me. I really would be disappointed. We'll have to see what take place that caused you. Were they close games? Do we have some significant injuries? Things that because how many years as a fan we've seen that, man, if we had 3 or 4 games that we lost by 3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
And that could have been that, that goes from 7-9 to 10-6. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of little factors that come into play. So it depends on what transpired throughout the season. If I see it as coaching, I'd be very disappointed.
Definitely.
I really would be very disappointed. But other than that, if there's some other factors, injuries and things of that nature that come into play, then, I can't fault the coach. So I'm excited. I'm kind of like, I'm sorry. A close friend of mine got on me about draft night. He's a Cowboy. Sorry, best friend, brother. But he got to know because we talked about the idea of. I told him I like him, and I said we get him because of the injury. I'd rather him possibly sit for the whole year. But when we heard the reports constantly coming out that he's healthy, he's good. The report came out by the MRI. He looks as good as new, like he never had a damaged hip. So I'm excited in that aspect. Like I trust this. I trust. We sent our independent doctors out, so I trust that he's there. He's working hard, and I just feel like why wait? And again, when training camp comes, if he wins out the job, if Rosen wins out, I haven't given up on Rosen. Like some think he's a bum. I think the kid got a lot of talent. And given the right opportunity, he could. It's going to boil down to the offensive line at the end of the day. If the offensive line hold up, we're a playoff team, period.
Definitely.
One blanket period. If the offensive line hold up, we're a playoff team, period. And that's where I see the 10-6, 11-5 in the play. I really think he did it, man. Brian Flores is about big, physical, smart players. Big, strong, physical, smart players. And look at everything that he's been doing. Look at the free agency, look at the draft. That's his fingerprint. This is his hammer. This is his team. So I'm excited. That's why when I look at what he did against the Rams, you got to think about that. Rams was historically one of those top teams. When they just shut them out. So when I saw how they shut that team, then he called that. Belichick, and you have to give him his credit. He called that defense all year. And when you see how they utilize, even with the cornerbacks, look at what they like to use. McCourty, Gilmore, all those guys. What's the other guy who won the Super Bowl with them? I can't think of his name. Malcolm, did I say it right? The one he benched for the other Super Bowl. But when you see how they like to run with the linebackers and that back end, and just having one or two guys up front to get pressure, I just see some exotic things with the players that we brought in from free agency. I see great things on our defense. I think defense is in the top 15, top 10, easy, with potential to be in the top 10 upper echelons, maybe squeak our way 8, 7, 6. I think I see that with what we have. So I'm excited, man. I promise you, I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm serious. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. All right, bud. Thank you for all the kind words and everything. I greatly appreciate you coming on, bud.
Oh, no problem, man. You guys have a blessing, Vic. All you guys have it, man. I listen to all you guys, John. I've heard you guys on TD. You guys do a wonderful job, man. I just want to get on just for a little bit and tell you, Doug, I listen to you every chance I get. I be at work sometimes, so I can't talk, but I can't hardly, text, but I have the earbud in, so I listen. Yeah. So I listen to you and TD, like TD do the morning. I want to get on, but I can't because I'm at work. So, but I make sure I listen.
All right, bud. Take it easy, man.
Keep up the good work. All the guys, fans up, man. And probably get with you guys another time, all right?
Yeah, definitely. All right, bud. All righty. And now we'll go to John with the awesome Metallica shirt, which represent, man. Represent.
Nothing much, Doug. Just love your channel. You do such an awesome job. I watch you every day or every time you post a video.
Appreciate that. How do you feel about the team? Like, what is your mindset on the Miami Dolphins right now? Is there any player that you're happy that we got? Is there a player that you wish they would have got that we didn't get?
Okay, so I'm going to answer your first question about how you feel about the team. I would have to agree with Zip, and I think our record will be 11-5, but our range, I think, is 7-9 to 11-5, and I know that's a 4-game difference, but I really do believe there's 4 games that could go either way.
Yeah.
Like some of those games are the Seahawks, Broncos, Cardinals, and the Chargers, probably, or maybe the Patriots, the first game. I think those games could go either way. So that's why I have it at 7-9 to 11-5.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Like Zeph was saying, a lot of our wins and a lot of these games all predicate on how the trenches. And I've said this, and I'll stick with it. If we have a top 5 offensive line and a top 5 defensive line, we'll win this division.
Yes.
That's what it all predicates on. We need to have the trenches, stop the run, and get after the quarterback, and then produce runs and protect our quarterback.
And then your second question was about what player I was happy we got, and most people say Byron Jones, and that's a big one. But I'm gonna say Jordan Howard because I really like his game. I've always liked him since like his years in Chicago, and he also wished me a happy birthday, so that was pretty cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
And then I got a sweatshirt of him, like a sweatshirt with the name on his name on the back.
That's cool.
And then a player that I wish we got. Are you talking about free agency or draft?
Anywhere. Who did you were hoping the Dolphins were going to get, and they ended up not getting them?
For draft, I would probably say Anton Winfield Jr. Okay. I think he could have been a really good safety for us in our system, and he fits it really well because of his range and that sort of stuff. And then free agency, probably Jack Conklin. Or, no. Is that his name? The one that went to Browns?
Yeah. The right tackle, right? From Tennessee?
Yeah. I wish we got him. He would have been good for us.
All right, man. Got a $5 donation from Matt Curry. He wants me to hit him up. Put his email out there. Thanks for the $5 donation, brother. I will hit you up. So yeah, John, any other things you want to say before you get out of here, bud?
I'm gonna do a shameless plug to my YouTube channel. It's called The Flea Flicker Football Talk. I do Dolphins edits for the season. I just put one out about the draft, and just shows the highlights of our players that we got.
So yeah, guys, definitely go check that out. You know, I think at this time of the year when it's pretty dead around here, we all can enjoy some highlights and getting that stuff out there. So John, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out.
Thank you, Doug. That
Have
was
a
a
good one, bud.
pleasure. All right.
Get one more in here. Get Sharif in here. So Havoc.
Yes, sir.
My guy from the tri-state area. Are you in New York or are you in New Jersey?
Queens. Yes.
Oh, you're right in the thick of it, huh?
Oh man, I can hear the 7 train from my apartment. Like I'm in the thickest of the thick of it. It doesn't get much thicker. But I just want to kind of give my 2 cents about the Dolphins. I think it's important for us to have context about where we are right now in relation to where we were last season, where we had we're talking about having a top 10 style defense. We had a 32nd ranked defense last season, 32 out of 32. We had guys dropping off packages from FedEx, and the next week they were lining up on the D line. Like, I mean, who knows where we were grabbing guys from? Our O-line couldn't get it together. Our running back situation, our leading rusher was a 37-year-old quarterback. And
Jesus.
when you
Havoc, you make it sound so bad.
It's but in order to dig yourself out of a hole, you got to have leadership. You got to have the right people giving out the right orders. When you got guys like Greer and Flores that put in the work, they have a term for guys up in the New England system, the 2020 guys. These guys that literally work 20 hours a day, putting in that work. Those guys, they're from that system. That's where they met each other. So when, Greer came to hiring a coach of the Dolphins and Flores had elevated himself to basically defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, it was a really easy move to make. And then you see the type of man that Brian Flores is, the type of integrity he's bringing to the table. I mean, he gives me that like that Tomlin vibe. A little bit of just, if we just invest in this guy, he's going to do us right every single year.
Yeah.
So then fast forward, free agency, make a lot of good signings. Not every signing was the splashy signing, but were guys that fit our system well. Fast forward to the draft, picking up, if realistically we're looking to have around 10, maybe 12 rookies on our team this year. How we've gone from last year to people talking about the AFC winning the AFC East. I just wanted us to be competitive this season. And I think going forward for this season, I'm really just looking for us to make a lot of progress because it was hard last season. We had guys that we weren't necessarily in it for the long haul. But this year, we got a lot of guys in our team that are going to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm a ton. And, the veterans, they have their place. They're here to show the young guys the way. So, looking forward to this season, I'm just looking for us for the young guys to develop. It's in particularly with the situation we're in right now. The coaches don't have their hands on these young guys right now. So they may not hit the ground running the way we may want them to hit the ground running. And that's just not for us. That's for all across the NFL.
Yeah.
But the young guys, they may not hit right away. That's why, when I've always said, I think we're going to make a late run in the season. I think we're going to try and feel out ourselves and see what works, but we're going to make a late run once all our young guys understand the potential that they hold. When the Strobridge and all of our guys, they come together and they figure it out. I feel like we're going to make a late run because the real game is 2021. When we're talking about the playoffs, we're talking about championship runs. 2021, that's on the table 100%. This year, if we can make progress, if all of our young guys can progress and become the players we want them to be, I mean, we're gonna be looking good for a while, especially if with Tua as our starting quarterback on a rookie deal, so we can invest in the defense when we need to. We can invest in pieces where we need to. We can get the whole band together, and I mean, we have such a large amount of our roster on rookie contracts. You know,
2 first-round picks next year.
2 first-round picks next year.
People forget 2 1s and 2 2s. People forget about that.
And you're talking about that. That's long-term viability. When you can continuously turn veteran assets into younger assets, that's long-term viability.
Yep.
So
and we'll have 80 million under the cap again next year because of them front loading contracts and giving the signing bonuses this year. The Dolphins finally are doing it right and not going out and spending a ton of money. I'm going to be making a video talking about the best free agency signings and the worst free agency signings, and you'll see the difference between overpaying somebody and actually paying them and letting them do their thing. I can't wait, man.
That's particularly how good franchises, they go downhill, is they give good players, but not necessarily great players, big contracts.
Yeah.
And it drags down everything. When you give a guy, $7-8 million a season, when you could have drafted his replacement and got someone of comparable productivity at a much lower rate. I mean, it's not just about the game on the field, it's about managing the cap and understanding that even though this guy may not be as good as the guy we have, he's good enough and he costs $7 million less per season. That's the gap. Like, these are the things that we have to understand, and Greer understands that, Flores understands that. I trust their ability to evaluate talents. Now, when it comes to the draft, particularly picking the high-end guys, that's something I'm looking for us to try and I don't know if the word is improve on, but when we we make the luxury picks, I understand this season is about the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have a D line or an O line, you can't do anything. Nothing else matters. So, this year was about the meat and potatoes. Next year, when we get our hands on some some of those luxury pieces, I like to call them, some guys that are the cherry on top pieces, types of guys, it's going to be a problem for the whole league. The whole league is on notice. 2021. Yeah. Because when you talk about Mahomes, the deal he's going to get, I mean, I don't know how Kansas City is going to be able to field a whole team with one guy making over $40 million per season.
Yeah.
That's impossible. And the same situation with the Cowboys too.
These quarterbacks, the market and how it's being set, it's like and you can't blame them. Like, when it comes to these teams, when it comes to these players, you can't blame them for wanting to be paid more than so and so. But it's hurting it, because at some point it's just like someone's going to want a contract that you're like, you can't pay that. You can't pay that and have an NFL team. I'm sorry. And Mahomes might be that person that it's starting to get to that point of, dude, you want us to pay you $40 million a year and then also give you an offensive line, some wide receivers, a tight end, a run. Like, I don't know if you know math, but that's kind of impossible for us to do right now.
Yeah. It's not like, it's not like the 90s with MJ and the Bulls where you only got 5 guys on the court at one time.
Exactly.
Right. You gotta put 11 guys starting on each side of the ball, and they all need reserves. It's impossible with one person's taking up that much cap to field a highly competitive team for consistently over time. That's really the Belichick sauce. When people talk about the Belichick sauce, it's his ability to flip veteran assets for young assets and keep the show rolling on. That's why sometimes, during the New England dynasty, they got guys in their team. You don't know these guys.
Nope.
But they fit their role. They play their part. They do exactly what the coaches tell them to do. And we're talking about our culture. That's what we're trying to build here. So, maybe a Strobridge, maybe he's not a superstar, but can he fill his role and be productive in his role? You only need a hand full of superstars to have a great team. You don't need you don't need Pro Bowls all over the place to have a great team. You need a team full of guys that can play their role, know their position, and can be productive, so that the luxury pieces, they shine. So right now we're in a position we're going to find out who our shine players are, who the guys that are, the guys that that are going to be a byproduct of us having a solid O-line and D-line. We're going to find out whose place is in particularly for the future, who's going to be a starter, who's a rotation guy, stuff like that. So when 2021 comes up, and we're looking at the free agency class, we're looking at the draft class. Yeah. Then that's when the real run starts. This is the lead up. 2020 is a lead up. 2021 is going to be the real run. And all those guys that are looking for a team on the rise, they're going to be looking here.
Yeah.
They're going to be looking here.
All of a sudden, we're going to have a ton of fans. So, Chris.
Yes.
Chris, how are you feeling about this team? What do you got to say? I want to make sure I get Chris, Brian, and Sharif in here. Chris, how you feeling, bud?
Excuse me. I really like the team. I like what they did in the offseason. I really like the receiving core. I think we have the best receiving core in the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
And but the one thing, I hope these guys can stay healthy, because we've seen Albert Wilson have injury problems. You know, Preston Williams coming off the ACL injury. That's always hard to come back from. And then we got Hearns and Grant off the bench. So I'm really excited to see what they can do. I just hope everything can stay healthy, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And the one thing in that offense, so I really wish we addressed, was tight end. You know, Thaddeus Moss went undrafted out of LSU, and he's a really good inline blocker, and he can catch the ball. So I wish we got him.
Yeah.
But instead we got what's that guy's name? Bryce Stirk.
Which he's a you guys know how I feel about the tight end position. He's a convert from a defensive end to a tight end. Then we got, you know, Roberts, who hasn't played football in a year and a half. You know, Durham Smythe, who is I wish he was more athletic like an Fasano, but he is a very good run blocker, and he can I'm not saying he can't catch the ball, but I just wish he was a little more versatile. And then we got Merrick, who hasn't really done much. I'm hoping one of these guys step up and all of a sudden, you know, shut me up about the other four guys, because all we have right now is Gesicki. Maybe that's all we need in Chan Gailey's offense, but I wish we had maybe one more other tight end, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Brian, how you feeling, bud? How you doing? I think Brian might be frozen. Yeah, Brian's frozen.
He's really intensely listening to everything we have to say.
Yeah, right.
We'll go to Sharif while Brian hopefully can get himself situated. Sharif, how you doing, brother? How you doing, man? Another one of my my guys, my Patreons.
What's up, Sharif?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, man. First of all, I'd just like to give a shout out to
the lagging a bit here.
Army members.
I'm kind of lagging up here, but okay.
Yeah, all the people who's serving in the front line in the hospitals. I'd just like to thank you guys. You're the reason that we can be free right now and have a live stream. I appreciate you guys' service and what you do. And secondly, I appreciate Doug. I appreciate DD and what Reason is doing. Right now, it's a pandemic, and you know, we're in our house all of the time, and these guys do the research, they do the work, they do the PowerPoint, and they bring Dolphins football to us. And I must say, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, Doug. Guys, you can hang out with Doug. He has a Discord channel. Of course, he's on Twitter for comments of the day. I'm a big fan of that. So, you know, yeah, just get in, man. Become a big part of this Dolphin community that we have here. And I'll jump right into the Dolphins. Havoc mentioned earlier that the 2021 draft would be for the skill position guys or for the toys for Tua. I kind of disagree with that, because I think TD had mentioned before, if we have a playlist from 2 years now where we draft 7 and 8, and we bring in free agency of 7 and 8, and I mean 7 and 8, the rating from 1 to 10, we bring in a 7 or an 8, like let's say Shaq Lawson or the guy we brought in our guard. They're 7s and 8s.
Yeah.
And when I look at New England system, Havoc, they never say that the next year is going to be for Brady's toys. They never do it. So I think they were fortunate to get Aaron Hernandez in the third round, and they were fortunate to get Gronk after the fourth round. So the thing about Patriots is you're not going to see a 2021 Dolphins team go out to get tools for Tua. We're going to get 7 and 8. If the trenches this year fail, we're going to go get 7 and 8 again to replace the trenches. If we happen to get a Charles Harris again, or we happen to see that the offensive line we drafted fail this year, I'm going to guarantee you we're just going to go and get them again next year. So I disagree with that. We're going to get the skill position guys. I don't think Flores is thinking that way. I think if these guys fail to protect Tua or they fail to rush the passer, let me just get into some stats. And of course, Doug knows that I watch film and I do all the stats covering as well. If you look at week 9 up to week 17, the Dolphins had only allowed 13 sacks, and we only turned the ball over 9 times. We only had a 5-11 record, so that masked all of the improvement that the offensive line made. But we only had 9 sacks. We ended up beating New England, and Davenport played the last 3 weeks, and he only allowed 3 sacks in those last 3 games. And he didn't allow a sack in the New England game. And so I'm overlooking the PFF rating of Dieter and 71, and the PFF rating of Shaq Calhoun of 74. What I'm really looking at is the improvement. And if you look at Fitzpatrick from week 9, he's rated only behind Aaron Rodgers in QB rating. So from week 9, even Fitzpatrick improved from the offensive line blocking better. And of course, and also I want to touch on the struggles of the defensive line, because what we're looking at James Grant video. We're looking at Rosen and Fitzpatrick throwing in Arizona a few weeks ago. But what we're not focusing on is the big nasties. And when I look at the Dolphins, last year, we ranked last in rushing the passer. We only had 39 sacks. Out of 17 weeks, we only sacked the quarterback 39 times.
Yeah,
which
needs
led,
to change.
Right, which led Allen, Greer, McKenzie to go and look to replace these guys. So Charles Harris is already gone. These guys who didn't make it are already gone. They're not up. We couldn't rush the passer. So we brought in Strobridge, Lawson, Weaver. We brought in the other guy. And so what we're doing is we need to replace that entire line. And we brought in Raekwon Davis. And so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the offensive line to be way much improved. And on top of that, I'm looking at defensive line to actually catch up to the improvement of where our offensive line finished the year last year.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you look at what the Dolphins are doing in terms of the offensive line and how we're building it, and in terms of the defensive line and how we're building it, I think it's a you can safely say that. I'll say with I forgot the name, Brian Baldinger.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the Joe Rose show just Friday morning, and he spoke about the experience that Dieter, Calhoun, and Davenport has. He said that on our depth chart of the offensive line, he expects Austin Jackson to be ranked 6th on our offensive line. That surprised me, because what he's saying is that Davenport, Dieter, and Calhoun has the reps. Now, Dieter had over 900 reps. Calhoun had over 400 reps, and Davenport had over 200 reps. So what he's basically saying is these guys won't lose their job. That tells me that the defensive line is behind our offensive line.
Yeah.
Because we're literally trying to address the defensive line in the free agency and in the draft. So that's how I look at it, Dolphins fans. Brian Baldinger, I really respect his offensive lineman outlook, and that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, well, let me bring in somebody who I feel like has a good grip on the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if everyone agrees that he has a good grip on the Miami Dolphins. I feel like some people think that he's a little too positive. But let's bring in TD Finstock.
Ding ding!
Nothing's wrong with positivity, man. Nothing's wrong with positivity.
Where are you, TD?
How you doing, Didi?
What's going on, Sharif, man? What's up, Chris? What's up, Havoc? What's up, Zeke? Love you, Doug, as always.
What's up, Didi?
Respect.
What are you out and about right now?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Well, you know about the situation with the power having gone out. It's crazy. Me and my wife, we got a hotel room for 3 days just in case till Monday. And then as soon as we check into the hotel, last night they call us and say it's back on.
Oh my God.
So we went back home, so that's a waste of a hotel. And we ended up getting 2 rooms, and it was sweet. So it was like a room with a full kitchen and bedrooms and stuff. So kind of scratching my pockets, like where, man.
Hey, everyone, be sure to go over, check out TD's channel and donate.
Hey, Doug, I'm gonna have to go live from 5 to 12 hours, man.
Hey, you're gonna have to have a telethon.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, it's all good though, man. I just thank God the power back on.
Definitely.
Didi, go live as soon as you can and go ahead and get on, okay?
So what's going on, man?
Not much. Just thought on this Saturday we'd all hang out, talk some Miami Dolphins. Trying to get a feel for what everyone's feeling. We all know how you're feeling. Somebody talked about your live stream the other day where you were dropping some knowledge, and I just put my hands up. I want no part of it.
I don't know what you're talking about. The last 3 days never existed, okay?
Right.
The last 3 days never existed in my eyes. I've decided to it never happened, all right? Man, but no, real talk. No, I'm excited about this season. I just hope that we can eventually figure out: are we having a 4-game preseason? Are we doing 2 games? Are they reducing the season? Like, what's going on? Give us some facts, because the anticipation, I've never felt it this high in my life. The anticipation of feeling like you finally have a roster that can compete. Doesn't mean we're going to win it all, but have a roster that can make us proud, So, man, I'm nervous and happy and everything at the same time, man.
So now let me ask you the same question I asked one of the other guys who wanted us, expected 11-5. What would your feelings be, your thought process? How would you feel if the Dolphins did go 7-9, 8-8? Like, would you think the season's a failure? Would you be upset? Like, I want to get your feelings on that.
I wouldn't think it's a failure, Doug, but it's an almost impossible question to answer because it depends on. Oh my gosh! It depends on what happened in that 8-8. Mommy's coming now, okay? It depends on what happened in that 8-8, Doug. So, sometimes you have injury situation that can derail your team. As long as there's a logical reason, I'm all good with 7-9 and 8-8. But the one thing that I will not accept, no matter what this season, we can't lose to Buffalo not once. They're dumpster juice, man.
I agree. Let me get Brian in here. Chris, you got one last thing you want to say before you get out of here, brother?
Mommy's coming now, okay?
Yeah, I just feel a big factor in the success of this season is going to be can that offensive line gel together because it's a bunch of new guys.
Yeah,
I think the only guys from last season is Jesse Davis and Daniel Kilgore is still out there. So hopefully everybody can gel together.
Yeah, all right, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, bud.
Thanks, man, for having me.
No problem. All right. Brian was freezing before. How you doing, Brian? Brian, you good now?
What's up, Doug? Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay, what do you got to say, man? What do you got to say about these Miami Dolphins? I want to make sure you get your time in.
I mean, honestly, this season, the way how I see it, I just see that this team. I see that this is a team that honestly, this is a team that looks pretty good. And the thing I like about this team from last year is that first of all, we improved the offensive line, which I liked. We improved the defensive line. We built the trenches. We improved the secondary, and and we got Byron Jones, which was a really good pick. Really good signing. I meant, sorry. And especially getting running back, getting Jordan Howard and Matt Breida. That was also pretty good also for the Dolphins. And I also like that we drafted the trenches in the draft too, getting Robert Hunt and Austin Jackson. So yeah, that was pretty good by the Dolphins, honestly.
Definitely. So, like, where is your mindset on the season? Like, where would you say success and failure is when it comes to a record? I know that's a hard question to answer, but
yeah, it's pretty hard. But honestly, what I would say, success would be pretty much like, I don't know, like maybe like 10-6, 7-5, somewhere around there. That would be a success. Failure would be like, I don't know, maybe 7-9, or maybe 6-10, perhaps. I guess I can say that way.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I guess.
You want to see I see where you guys are coming from. A lot of, like, you know,
Yeah.
TD and like Zeph and you and a lot of the people that have these 11-5, you know, these huge because of the fact that the Miami Dolphins won 5 games last year with the practice squad, and they added nothing but talent on top of talent on top of talent. You expect Brian Flores to take that coaching mentality of a 5-win, you know, 5 out of 9, you know, he went 5-4 his last 9 games.
Yeah.
And put that with the extra talent that you expect a double of wins with the extra talent. So I understand where you guys are coming from, but you guys know we all been burned. You know, Soprano burned us. You know, we won the division 2008, 2009. Adam Gase burned us. 2016 playoff berth.
Matt Burke. Don't forget Matt Burke.
So it's like, you know, it all depends. So, but yeah, definitely, Brian. I appreciate you stopping by, bud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some more people in here, but thanks again. Thanks for stopping by, and
yeah, appreciate it, man.
I'll have you on again soon.
All right, see you, man.
All right, bud. All right, let's get Dwayne and Todd in here.
What's up,
DDW? What's going on?
Dwayne, what's up?
Dwayne,
what's up, Havoc?
What's going on, man?
Vic, what's going on? Fin family. It's good to see y'all. We're everywhere on multiple sources of media. Doug, you do an outstanding job with presenting your content. I like the flow that you have. And as far as the Dolphins, with what I would judge as a success or failure rate, success to me would be an improvement in the trenches. That's what I want to judge on. If they have successfully improved on the 32nd ranked defense and one of the worst PFF rated offensive lines in the history of NFL, then I'm happy. As far as wins and losses are concerned, I have my desire for at least 10, 11 wins.
Yeah.
And I would deem it as a failure if they regressed and got 6, 5,
Wait, let me
or
ask
4.
you this, Dwayne. If you had 8-8, but you saw across our whole team improvement and skill level improvement, where you can go into 2021 and pick the key pieces that would just make you that much better, I would be okay with an 8-18 if I know everything was working as a gear, as a motor. I think it's going to be higher than that. Trust me, I think it's going to be 10. But I think 8-8, if I see the growth across the whole team, we only have 1 or 2 pieces to improve on for the year after, I think that's a successful team too.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, as long as I'm seeing improvement in the O-line and the D-line. I mean, because that has an impact on the entire team success. And 8-8, if they are lucky and win, and I'm using this in this scenario, if they're lucky to get 8-8 and they had bad O-line and D-line play, I'm not happy.
No, me
I'm
neither.
not happy. But if they are 8-8 and they take on the techniques and the principles that the coaching staff have put in place, and they work on that, I'm happy. If the offensive and defensive line coaches, if they allow stagnancy, then I'm not happy with 8-8 either, because although the results show improvement, you didn't do anything, and your courses of action didn't bring success. So there are different scenarios where 8-8 would be successful, but I I definitely want to see O and D line improvement.
Yeah.
8-8 with 4 or 5 close losses. 8-8 with 4 or 5 close losses is a win for me.
I agree.
Here's how I feel like. Here's an acceptable 8-8 for me. We start out 1-4 and we end the season 7-4.
Mm-hmm.
Because our biggest concern is how long is it gonna take all these new pieces to gel? The O-line is new, the secondary is semi-new, the linebackers are new, the D-line is gonna have a new element right smack dab in the middle potentially. The offense outside of the receiving core, and you can also include the receiving core. It's new because those guys haven't had a full season together yet due to injuries. Everything there's like a lot of hit and miss camaraderie right now. So don't give me 1-4, but give me a 1-4 and then we rattle off 7-4.
Mm-hmm.
It's a respectable 8-8 that makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know, but don't tease me with the 4-0 and we end up 8-8. Oh no.
That's a totally different 8-8.
Yeah, that's a failure.
That's different.
Yeah. I think especially
that's like that.
Yeah. I think especially
Go ahead,
when you're looking at I don't think we're gonna have games like the Baltimore game. I don't think we're gonna have games like the Pittsburgh. I mean, where you're doing one high safety and an obvious long down. I don't think we're gonna have games like the Cincinnati game where we had our foot on their neck and we just let them come back. Those games like that aren't gonna happen anymore.
True.
So it's really about how fast do we start, because once the ball gets rolling. What you look at the coaching on this team, you look at the talent on this team. Once the ball gets rolling, I don't think the ball is going to stop rolling. I think it's just a matter of, and when we get into these close games and we have a very young roster, do these guys know how to, when you have your foot on their neck, do you know how to put them away? Do we know how to put teams away? That's the main thing with a lot of young teams is they don't know how to put veteran teams away, even if they have more talent. That's something you got to learn over time. So I'm hoping we get a fast start, but just to be realistic, and I've said this, several times. I think we're gonna make a late run, no matter what. We're gonna make a late run. We're gonna look.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. All this talk about 8-8 and just being average. Nah, go Dolphins, baby. We're gonna be successful.
Hey.
All right. It's all right to talk 8-8, but doggone it, we want 11, we want 12. Okay, that's what, like y'all said earlier. We all rooting for 12-3, 12-4, 13-3, 11-5, but you want to have that conversation about 8-8, but doggone it, we're the Dolphins. We're great fans, and we deserve and expect success.
8-8's the low side. 8-8's the bottom. 8-8's the bottom.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're the holders. We're the holders of the only perfect season in NFL history. Like that. That's our crown.
Twice.
That's our crown. We own that crown.
Don't
we
jinx
own that.
this,
We own that throne.
And Havoc. I used to live in New York City in the Bronx.
Okay.
So I know what you have to endure on a daily basis from those peons of Jet fans.
Okay, come on, man. I gotta go on the train with these people, man. They don't need to identify me on the train. I gotta defend you now.
Hey, I used to rock my Dolphin starter jacket and Dolphin gear on the train before they put train operators in uniforms. Okay. I used to operate the train like that in Dolphin gear.
Well, it's funny too because my dad's a truck driver, like you all know, and there's certain sites he delivers like tubing and wiring and stuff when they construct buildings. He drives a flatbed and everything, and there's some sites that he delivers to. He has to wear a hard hat, and a long time ago I got him a Miami Dolphins hard hat, and he delivers everywhere. And he said the one place where he got the dirtiest looks, and it wasn't New York City because he delivers there. It wasn't New York State. It wasn't Boston because he delivers all over there. It was Baltimore. He delivered right across the street from the Baltimore Ravens Stadium, and they looked at him like, "Are you out of your goddamn mind wearing that helmet?"
Well, you know why they gave him a lot of flack? Because they're still upset over losing Don Shula to the Dolphins.
I think they're even more upset over Greg Camarillo with that touchdown in overtime.
Greg Camarillo. Man.
That cost Brian Billick his job.
Doug.
Yeah.
What's up, TD?
Love you, bro. I wish I could spend some more time. I got to go take care of some business, man, but we're going to get the collab going real soon, all right?
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. I'll catch you later,
Take
buddy.
care, TD.
All right, man. Love you all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to DDW, baby. See y'all soon.
All right, later. All right, let's get Todd in here. What's up, Todd? How you doing, bud?
What's going on? I agree with everybody. 8-8 the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the floor for me.
And it's not out of the realm of possibility, like I was saying with what they did. You know, like I said, to win 3 games, and a lot of people want to talk about this upcoming schedule being tough, right? A lot of people, you know, we have the 3rd strength of schedule. I made a video showing that last year, some of the top 5 strength of schedule when the season was over was bottom 5 strength of schedule. These things could change. So there's a lot of teams that I'm looking at right now that don't scare me. Everyone wants to talk about the Buffalo Bills. Hey, the Buffalo Bills, you know, they made the playoffs. They're probably number 1 to win the division. Miami almost beat Buffalo in Buffalo if it wasn't for an interception on the goal line. If that didn't happen, Miami, I honestly think, would have won that game. We were holding them with our defense. Josh Allen wasn't looking great. We had our running backs actually running for yardage. So Buffalo doesn't scare me. The New England Patriots don't scare me.
I'm not worried about Buffalo.
There's only 3 teams on the schedule that scare me. Other than that, I honestly think the games can go either way. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Dolphins do go 11-5. It's not.
Right. But see, I think our defense is making a big jump this year.
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in Boyer. A lot. We could easily have a top 5 defense with Boyer and Flores running it.
Mm-hmm.
You look at what Boyer did with people off the street last year. That he had them playing that week and playing well at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing is if our defense jumps up the way it should. You know, all right, Byron Jones, he does not need to take time to learn how to play press man.
No.
He's been doing that his whole time. X can play press. Now we got Noah in the slot who's tough and physical and can play the press, which puts more people to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You handle your business there, you have more people to put towards the run. So Josh Allen looking like Michael Vick against us, those days are over. You can put people to stop him right now.
I'm pretty sure we're all pretty tired of that when we go face a team that their quarterback is inferior, and then all of a sudden we make them look like Tom Brady, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, and we're like, that's the thing that my father always yells at the TV when we've played people like that. You know, I'm not going to list off names of inferior quarterbacks that we played, but we play these guys, and that's what my dad screams. Come on, you're making this guy look like Tom Brady out there. Like, I think those days are over, being that Brian Flores knows what he's doing and he knows what he's adding. He made the comment saying you can never have enough cornerbacks. Well, look at all the cornerbacks we have now. Igbenogany, Xavier Howard. Like I said in my last video or 2-3 videos ago, don't sleep on Nick Needham. He did really well last season, from being undrafted to thrown into the starting position when Xavier Howard went down.
You know who you can thank for that is Boyer.
Yeah, and who's now and that's the other thing. A lot of people want to talk about, I talk about continuity constantly. I wish our offensive coordinator would have worked out, but hey, I'm not upset with him going because, again, he struggled with helping the offensive line. He focused on wide receivers, but Josh Boyer was with this team as the secondaries coach. Him as the defensive coordinator now, a lot of people like Gotcha were saying he had a bigger voice in that locker room than Patrick Graham did. So there's still that continuity with, Bringing Boyer as
And
DC,
he's
it's the same defense. So all these guys that started to become better last year, Nick Needham, Eric Rowe, all these guys, they're going to continue having success in the same defense.
And don't sleep on the impact that Gerald Alexander is going to have on that secondary.
Yeah,
he's coming from a college where he rose California up to near the top in secondary play. He's relatable to the young players. He's going to have an impact in that secondary as well.
Yeah, I was surprised by our secondary play.
From there so bad. I wanted us to draft the safety that he had in college so bad because he knows how to play for him.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like for me, for one, if you guys watch my pre-draft stuff, I was talking about, there was like 6 positions I wanted them to address, and they didn't address 2 of them, which was tight end and safety. Other than that, they addressed all the positions. That's why I felt pretty good about this draft. And after looking at it, I'm not surprised they didn't address safety, because they did address safety kind of with Brandon Jones, but I wanted that top guy. I wanted, Winfield. I wanted that top guy. And when you look at what they're doing, we see what he took Eric Rowe, put him at safety, and he thrived. He got a contract extension. But
I can see Nick Needham doing the same thing.
Brian Flores knows how to take you and have you, during training camp, this is what we're going to do with you. We're going to have you play all these different positions. I want to see where you thrive. I want to see where your strengths are. If you're good here, and not here, I'm not going to play you there. And I have to just talk about this one last time. I promised I wouldn't talk about this on the channel, but can you guess the one player that he tried to do that with and he started to cry about it?
Minka.
Like, are you kidding me, dude? Yeah, he put you in the box in training camp, but if you sucked in the box, he's not going to put you in the box anymore. He wants to see where your strength is. Oh, your strength is only at free safety? Cool. We're going to keep you there. And now all of a sudden he comes out and says, oh, we're going to move me around more so I can be around the ball more. He had 3 good games, 5 interceptions in 3 games, and then disappeared.
Yep.
Okay. I had to get off my chest. I'm sorry. Every time I talk about the secondary and Brian Flores moving people around and Brian Flores putting people in their strengths, I just think of Mika, and I'm like, dude, I love the draft pick. You came from St. Peter's High School, which is literally 5 minutes from me, and you screwed it up. You're such a baby, dude. Play football. Stop crying. You didn't want to be on a losing team.
Your passion for Minka Fitzpatrick is just like TD's passion for Tannehill. So whenever you want to mention Minka,
hold on.
fine.
The difference is I don't like Fitzpatrick anymore.
That's true.
Fitzpatrick can kick rocks, and the next time we play the Steelers, I hope he's completely shut down and gets destroyed by a Parker. That's.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, I
that's a
think
given.
our receivers are going to thrive in this new offense.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I really see them thriving.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Fitzpatrick's savvy, and I want to make that relative to our offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed that obviously Rosen wasn't able to get anything done by week 3 in terms of his making the offensive line automate at the line of scrimmage and figuring out when do I get rid of the ball. We automatically saw that Flores saw that Fitzpatrick has the savvy to get rid of the ball within 2 seconds due to the line not blocking enough or due to us not having the proper offensive line. So with Fitzpatrick's savvy, getting rid of the ball, and then I have to mention again the improvement from week 9 to week 17, I think our line would not be as putrid as it was last year. That being said, I think our offensive line could be top 10 with the additions of Flowers, Austin Jackson, and the improvement of a Calhoun and a Dieter. I don't think Fitzpatrick will have to get rid of the ball for 2 seconds, if you know what I mean. Because there was points in last year where if Fitzpatrick didn't get rid of the ball, it was a sack. Like, it was just hell break loose. So we have to thank Fitzpatrick's savvy. Yes, we do have to thank Fitzpatrick for his savvy. But I don't want his savvy to take us out of the hole. I want our offensive line actually to block. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, because Fitzpatrick, he does his thing, and he got the name Fitzmagic for a reason, where he's trying to take something and turning it into nothing. But he also got the Fitztragic name for the same reason he's called Fitzmagic. I honestly think that's why it's his time. This is his time to, come in. If he wins the starting position, cool. Come in, help teach, to help even bring Rosen in a little bit more, help that out. But the fact that the man said that he doesn't throw in the offseason, I'm like, this is your last year with Miami. I love what you did. I love you helping us win 5 games. But if you can't throw in the offseason, my guy, I can't take the chance of you going out there throwing a duck when we need, 5 yards to win the game, and you throw a duck and we lose.
Hey,
Doug.
Doug.
What's up?
I just watched his interview again. Magic you said that because I was getting my haircut this morning. I watched the interview with Fitzpatrick again. I was watching that. And he said it's been like 8 to 9 years in the offseason that he doesn't throw. The last 8 to 9 years. So that's his practice, is not throwing during the offseason until he starts getting into practice and training camp.
Well, I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's his thing now. For the last 8 to 9 years, he said, I just don't throw much and off the offseason. I wait till it starts up.
So I guess that's more of him keeping his strength for the season.
Yeah, because he needed it for sure after this last year, for sure.
Yeah, because I think we all, but like, I stand corrected, but I also will back up. We started to notice come like the Colts game, he was shot putting the ball a little bit there.
He was pushing a little bit. Yeah. I think I also don't want to talk about Minkah, but I do think that was a decisive moment for our franchise in terms of the long-term output. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yep.
Now, that fissure, you have a first-round pick openly defiant against the head coach of the football team.
Who, not to cut you off, but who they sat down with 3 separate times. It's not even like they were like, oh, he's crying, he's gone. The owner, the head coach, and the GM sat down with him 3 separate times.
And you're talking about like having a sit down with a guy like Brian Flores. I mean, that's a stand-up dude right there.
Intimidating.
But, especially if you and your family are saying a lot of things on Twitter that are not necessarily true.
I bet you he didn't smile once in that sit down.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. How far do you have to go? Yeah, how far do you have to go with him to get a second chance? You're not going to get many.
And he got plenty.
So then to sit down.
He's a reasonable guy, but it seems like a week, especially. I think Minkah was playing on a few things. One, that he was a first-time head coach.
Yeah.
2, I don't think he fully understood the depth of the relationship that Flores and Greer have with each other. Because if I'm reading it, if I'm looking at it in the macro, the wide view, they had a relationship before Minkah got there, and a weaker organization would have gone with the player and said, you know what, he's our first-round pick. We have to make it work with him. We've invested too much. So make it work with him, or it's your job on the line. But in the new era of the Miami Dolphins, you have a general manager in Chris Greer, and you have a head coach in Brian Flores, who are moving together lockstep. So when Minkah was trying to play both sides against each other, he got played out, and eventually he got shipped out. So, when you're looking at the future of the franchise, when you have your decision makers working in concert with each other, they're not going to let a guy that's a first round pick come in and derail the whole situation. That was the deciding moment of the entire season last season, was his saga.
Yeah.
That was the definitive moment, because we could have gone another way, but I think we went the right way with it. And you don't want to ship out a first round pick that you literally just drafted. I mean, we literally just drafted him like a week ago, and they shipped him out. But the integrity of the process and the integrity of the organization is way more important than one player, no matter how good you are.
Good job, Havoc. Good job.
Yeah, it was that moment where and it sucked too, because it also kind of split the fan base, because some of us, and even like I'm reading some of the comments, just so you guys know, while we are talking and while other people are talking, I am reading your comments because I love interacting with you guys. Some people still let me clarify something, right? I don't dislike Mika Fitzpatrick because of he can't play, because the man can play safety. I don't like him because of his skills or any. The man can play. I dislike him because I wanted him on the team. He needed to stay on this team because of how good of a safety he was. Yes, like I said, he had 3 good games and then he disappeared, but it still doesn't take away from how good he could be. I don't like him because of how he handled himself. So, you know, a lot of people are asking like, hey, who do we replace him with? No one at his skill level yet. No one that we found that is still at his skill level. And I will admit that, yes, letting him go, getting a first-round pick sucked because all of a sudden now we have that hole we have to fill. But like Havoc was talking about, you're not going to come in here and start to demand things. And if you're not a team player, if you're not going to come in here and take one for the team and play a position and like, hey, listen, we need you to move to this position. Well, I won't get paid that much at that position. It's an inferior position. We understand that, but we need you right now. If you're that type of person, they're probably not going to keep you. And that's where Mika started to show his colors of, I want to play here. I want to play here. And then Brian Flores was probably like, we understand that, dude. We understand it. But listen, we want to see where else you can play in case I have a package where I'm going to have you blitz. And he just didn't want any part of it. But we all know the truth. Came from Alabama, winning championships. Came to Miami. You know, we started to have a success. Bring in Brian Flores. You could see the hard reset, and he just didn't want to be a part of it. That's
so. Here's the other thing. Look at the other thing: is Tannenbaum, Gase, and Gase, Tannenbaum. Third one, who was it? Greer. Greer stayed. That 2 years ago, we were blaming Tannenbaum, Greer, Gase. Everybody was blaming everybody but who it relied on. So now we've got 2 people. It's their choice. They're under conviction. They know what they got to do. They're not calling about Tannenbaum anymore. They're not calling about Gase anymore. They're not calling about Greer anymore. It's this team. It's a team effort. It's not about who's drafting. We know who's doing it. That's the difference.
Yeah, because like you said, in the past, a lot of our failures have been put on Chris Greer, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying Chris Greer is exonerated because of what the trifecta was. Because yes, he still had a voice, and he still could have talked and not done it. But having Tannenbaum control the contracts, have Adam Gase control the 53-man roster, what is Chris Greer doing? Like he can't really. He'll draft somebody, but if Adam Gase doesn't want him on the team, which he controls the 53-man roster, it's inferior. Chris Greer wants to go out and sign, a free agent, but Tannenbaum controls the contract. It's just like he was put in between a rock and a hard place, and now all of a sudden you see him last year trying to rectify the mistakes that his name is on top of.
Right.
I mean, you see that with Devontae Parker, where Gase didn't want to play Parker for certain reasons and stunted his growth, even though he was injured. When he was available, Gase didn't want to play him. Now that lack of communication is gone and replaced with continuity and communication between Greer and Flores. With Minka, I saw the comment that EM stated. It would have been real nice to have Minka on the team because that would have been one less hole that needed to be filled. Yeah. But if somebody doesn't want to be there, it's better to move on, because at that point in time, Flores was trying to establish a new culture. And if you don't have somebody who wants to be there and is in playing the same music, playing the same tune, you're gonna have a whole bunch of issues in the locker room. So it was best for Minka to move on. I wish him success against every other team except the Dolphins.
That's it.
And Nick Saban, you still owe us. I don't care. You
call him out.
Had good words for Tua, but guess what? You still owe us for your defection previously. So
yes,
you still owe us at least two more quality players.
Amen,
That's
brother.
a fact. That's a fact. On Monday he was like, "I'm in it for the long haul," and on Friday he was like, "Which way to the airport?"
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like he did us like that. But at the end of the day, it was a long time ago. We're in a new era. man. We done with those days, man.
Yep, but he's coming around and he's doing good. He's doing well with referring players to the Dolphins, but he still owes a little bit more to the franchise. He still owes a little
Here's
bit
a good
more.
question, guys. Another question, real quick. Talk about the locker room. The only person that right now, the only player I can think of that might be a detriment or negative person right now would be Rosen because of the deal he's been dealt, whatever. But are there any other players except Rosen that you think are negative from the past regime that were maybe are going out? I don't think there's that many. I think Rosen would be the only one to have a sour stomach. Is there any more you can think of?
You're lucky you're a Patreon.
Well, I don't.
Oh, come on.
I don't think that. First of all, Vic,
not because
I don't think that.
But I'm saying that because you're going to spark some conversation.
I'm just asking a question.
I don't think that Rosen's going to be a detriment to the locker room.
Yeah,
I don't think he will be.
I don't think he will be. I don't think he hasn't shown me in the 2 years that he's gone through all of this stuff that he's gone through to be a sulker or to be a problem in the locker room. So I don't think that. But now I'm looking over the roster.
Yeah.
And there's probably one player that because of contractual issues could be.
Call him.
And that's Godchild.
Yep. Yep.
That's Godchild. Because you have possibility of Benito Jones, Raekwon Davis taking snaps, and he might feel some kind of way regarding his snaps, his number of snaps in relation to his desire to get a new contract.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one that I would see, that I could foresee, somebody that was in the old regime that's currently playing and could have an impact on the season that could also have a negative impact in the locker room.
I told you, Vic.
Yeah, right.
I told you.
And he's trying to get his money.
So what's the next thing? That's the only one person out of 54.
That's it.
57.
That's it. Rosen.
That I can think of because, like Dwayne was saying, Godchild maybe, but even when Godchild came out and did his press conference, he even said like, I'm not worried about it. I'll play on my last contract and we'll see, where we go from here. Yeah, I honestly don't see, because if you look at people that are up for contracts, they're not making a stink about it, because you got, Raekwon McMillan. He's due for a contract. He's not saying anything. He's just practicing doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Baker, he's just doing his thing. He's playing through it. Even they brought in Ted Karras, who, yeah, he's new, but he only signed a 1-year contract. Yeah. And do you guys know that the New England Patriots offered him more? And he decided to take less to come play for Miami.
Because of our future, about what we're looking to build. It's what we're doing in the future. That's
exactly.
And Doug, all those players that you mentioned, they really don't have a leg to stand on to be arguing because of the results that they've put on film over the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So they need to show improvement and prove that they deserve it. Rather than complaining, they need to prove it. So I probably maybe one more is Balaj, because he's not been he's gonna fit, and the only reason why I say that is because he may feel some kind of way about not having a full opportunity with this offensive line.
Hey, this is his year then
to show it. But again, he doesn't have anybody to blame but himself.
I'm glad you said
that. And the offensive line. So he has to go out and prove it.
Yeah.
But those are the two that I would see that could be possibly a thorn in the locker room culture.
Yeah.
Unless something totally pops out of Tua because he's not starting and he starts popping off. But I don't see that happening either.
Yeah, because with Balaj, a lot of people want to, last year the offensive line was hot garbage, and you couldn't get any running. But my thing with Balaj is we saw those plays where he smacked the ball up and caused the pick six against the Patriots. He ducked under it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Intangibles. That's I think that's a lot of questions when the people talking about Balaj. It's vision and intangibles. He's got the body, he's got the speed, he's got the athleticism, but it's all the things that make up
right here
great football players.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't know
All
if he has that yet, and it's hard to tell behind the O-line that we had last year.
So before I end the stream, I want to get Sharif back in here, and I want to get my guy from overseas, Roadrunner, in here. I'm going to end the stream, so I brought you guys back in. And
Roadrunner, why?
You're going to get in trouble, Vic, for what you said. That's why I brought Roadrunner in. I think he might be. So I'm going to end the stream, but before I end the stream, I want to go around each one of you, say your last piece, say whatever you want to say, and then I'm going to end the stream. So let's start with Vic to my left.
Guys, I love the Dolphins. I've been loving the Dolphins for over 50 years, and I'll never sway from that. But I love to have family that love the Dolphins too. I've got family from Miami that I grew up with, family that have passed away, no longer here. But, this is my family. You guys and TD's family, that's my family. So you guys are ones that keep me going and keep me spirited. So, I enjoy being on here and doing this, and I'll support it the best I can, no matter how I can. So, Doug, keep up the good work. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, man.
And, all these new guys I've met over the last year or two, it's been great to know you all, and I keep on going and building it. 13,000 just to start. You just started, man. 13,000 is just the very bottom. So, 13,000 grow to 30,000 to 100,000 by the time, you're a young man. Keep it going.
Thank
so
you, man. I
enjoy
really
the content, man.
that. Thank you. What do you got to say,
awesome.
Havoc?
If I could just say one thing to the fans in particular, for the 2020 season, is just love the process. You don't go from where we were last season to Lombardi in a year.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen. But what you rarely see is, you see the team go from a baby state to a grown man state, where we hope to become this to doing this on a regular basis. So fall in love with the process. Fall in love with seeing these guys improve, because the improvement we're making this season is going to equal the end goal, I think, in 2021, which is the playoffs and a chance at a Super Bowl championship.
Definitely. I love it. Love every minute of it. What do you got to say, Sharif? What do you got to say before we get out of here?
I just want to say, thank you once again, Doug. Dolphin fans, we got to realize that this guy is representing us as a Dolphin on the 32-team stream, which would be launching at the end of July, right, Doug?
Yeah, July. We're shooting for the beginning of July. Yeah, I'm the Miami Dolphin representative on Fan to Fan Network. So like I said, all the YouTube videos that you see is going to be on there. I'm not going to stop doing this, but it's just going to be on there. So I'm the representative. So if anything happens with Fan to Fan Network, I'm the Miami Dolphins.
And so, like Vic said earlier, this is just the beginning. Now, Doug is going to be debating one-on-one with other teams when we're playing them that week. So we'll have media intel going back and forth with their media outlet, of course, on that channel. That's a great thing. I just want to say Dwayne does a fantastic job in terms of the draft, and he's taught me so much in keeping up with the players coming into the Dolphin system, the aligning me with what the Dolphins are looking for in terms of body type, package type. I appreciate that, Dwayne. Reason does it as well. Havoc. What can I say about Havoc? Havoc. It's Havoc is that's it. That's what he is. And he says that he is Havoc. And Vic told some stories. I think it was on draft night. Dude, that was this. You told us some stories as you being a Dolphin fan and what you know. I really appreciate you, Vic. And once again, all of the soldiers that are there fighting for our freedom, first people in the first line with this thing going around what we're dealing with in the world. I appreciate you all. And Doug, just you know how to hit us up again when you're going live.
Definitely.
Oh, of course, YouTube's notification hasn't been letting us know in time lately,
Yeah.
but I guess you can appeal that with YouTube and try to see if you could get that figured out. But everyone knows that it's not working like how it used to, so we'll have to deal with it. But you guys take care. And I love you all. Go Dolphins.
Much love, Sharif. Much love.
Definitely. All right, Dwayne, what do you got to say, brother?
Man, first of all, I'm looking forward to this season.
Hey, yeah.
I go back as far as Vic with my love for the Dolphins.
Who's your favorite player, Dwayne?
My favorite player. Wow. I would say Mercury Morris.
Okay.
Mercury Morris,
Okay.
just because. Oh, wait a minute. No, Larry Little.
Zalka, man. Come on,
Larry Little.
Zalka.
I knew it was Larry Little.
Larry Little. You had me thrown for a second, but it's Larry Little because I always liked the fact that he could pull, and he was a monster to defensive backs when he was pulling, and he led the way for Zonka, Kick, and Mercury Morris. So that's my favorite guy of all the Dolphins. Of course, I love Marino. Of course, I love all the players that have come since. But he was the guy that I initially attached to.
Mm-hmm.
But this season, we want to see improvements in the offensive line. We want to see improvements on the defensive line. And it is important that the same message that Flores was pushing out last year, he continues in that methodology of being able to communicate with the players. Because if he goes and changes his message at the first sight of something going wrong, that's when you lose the locker room. I don't want him to lose the locker room. I want him to be called out in the same breath, same methodology, same type of emotion that we all look at Shula with, or that we looked at Shula with. You know, I've been to that stadium. I see that statue of Shula. You know, I want someday for the Dolphins to carry Flores off the field the same way that they carried Shula off during the Super Bowl and when he won that game that in Philly for the most games all time.
Yep.
I want that for Flores. Okay. And I'm looking forward to this season. There's a lot of different challenges to the season, and every unit, every room, there is competition. And I like that. Doug, keep doing what you've been doing. And I hope that you have much success on your on the new medium that you're a part of. And all the panelists, all the Finn family, you know, we all have gone through seasons, but this season we're going to have some success. So I want you to get used to it. Get used to that fact that we are going to be successful. Okay? Go Dolphins! Go Dolphins!
Buddy.
Go Dolphins! Go Dolphins! Go Dolphins!
Fins up.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. Before we get out of here, like usual, you know, I don't make this channel. I don't make these videos without you guys. You know, your support, you're liking the videos, you sharing the videos, even you guys that are Patreons. Again, I never ask for you guys to be Patreons. If you guys want to do it, I've tried to make special content over there for you guys. But the fact that you guys donate, the fact that you guys like hold me to such a regard, it blows me away. I never expected to get to this point when it came to YouTube, and you have no idea how much it means to me that I have all of you guys and I can talk to you guys and I can breaking news and all that stuff. Like, I'm trying to plan things. I'm trying to plan big meetups here in New Jersey, New York area. I know Havoc's going to be there. So I'm trying to do some meetups. I'm trying to get to Florida. I don't know if it's going to happen this year with what's going on in the world, and I have other things happening in my life, but I'm trying to get to Florida to meet you guys. So before we get out of here, I want to thank Vic. I want to thank Havoc. I want to thank Dwayne. I want to thank every single Brian, John, every single person, Zeph, that came on and chatted with me. I love doing this stuff. I love interacting with you guys. I love talking with you guys. You guys are DouglieDoWrong. Yes, my name might be Doug, but you guys are DouglieDoWrong, because without you guys, without 13,000 of you guys, this channel's nothing. It's me in a room with a ton of Dolphin stuff talking to nobody. So from the bottom of my heart, I love every single one of you guys. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for supporting me, being here, and all that stuff. But other than that,
Doug,
again, yeah, Vic.
Two more things.
Yes.
Who has a bigger head, me or you?
Who has a bigger head?
Yeah, look. Really? I think I got it.
I don't know. We got to try. When I see you, we'll try each other's hats on.
Okay, I think I got it. I got one.
I think so.
Second thing, guys, about the Patreon, guys, it comes out as I'm just going to give a little tug just for information. Not saying anybody has to give. It comes out once a month. I give to TD and DDW. It's a once a month withdrawal. You never see it happen. It's an automatic thing. You can go $1, $2, up to $20. It's just like any other bill you have. And these guys use that to build the channel. They use it to build their equipment. They use it for the extra stuff that, when it comes around a month to month, these things cost money. So look, do it once a month for $1. If you have 13,000 subscribers and $1 each, how much money is that these guys could build an empire for the Miami Dolphins radio, the Twitter, whatever they want to do, they can get the news out to us on so much of an easier way. So just $1 a month. Just put in there on a Patreon, $1 a month. It's going to come out of your bank account. You'll never see it. You'll never miss it. You're going to put it in there. $1 a month. I'm going to challenge every DDW fan out there. Go to his Patreon, check it out. $1 a month. Just $1 a month. That's all I'm asking. Do it.
Thank you, Vic. I appreciate that. And yeah, that's what Vic is saying when he's talking about, getting the news out there and stuff. That's what Fan to Fan Network is. This website. It literally is taking all these 32 NFL YouTubers and putting all of our content on one platform. So if you have a friend that's a 49ers, because I know one of you guys asked me, hey, I have a friend that's a 49ers fan, what YouTube channel? And I suggested the 49er YouTuber that I'm a part of this big platform with. So it's a great platform. Again, I'm going to keep you guys updated when the website comes out and all that stuff. You could check all their stuff, Fan to Fan Network. It's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. It's on all Twitter. That stuff. So, go check it out. I put a trailer in my last video if you guys want to check that out. But again, thank you guys so much. I'm going to get out of here. We got some things to do. But like usual, guys, stay classy.
Stay classy. Fins up.
Fins up.
Got it, guys. See you.
Fins up.